Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. I've had a lot of requests from viewers asking about what camera gear I use to shoot all of these videos. Well, I thought I'd give you a look at all the equipment that I use in this very quick video. Of course, as the weather changes and it gets nicer around here, I'll go outside and we'll do some how-tos on how to shoot your tiny trucks in both stills and video for the ultimate in realism. I think it's going to be an excellent video and I can't wait to shoot it, but of course we gotta wait until some of this snow melts. Definitely stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to that one and I can't wait to share it all with you. Anyway, today we're going to go through some of the stuff that I use day to day in all of the filming of these videos right here in the studio. I'm by no means an expert on any of this stuff, so I do recommend you do your research before you buy any new camera gear. What works for me might not necessarily work for you. First of all, of course, the camera that I'm shooting with right now. This is the Sony a6500. It shoots in 4K video and 1080p. Of course, it allows for multiple frame rates, so we can do slow motion, we can do fast motion, we can do still photography, and a ton of video as well. It's a mirrorless camera, so it's very compact, fits easily in my backpack when I'm going out and shooting all my tiny trucks. The lenses, of course, are interchangeable. I've got a bunch of different lenses for a bunch of different situations. I've got a 55 to 210 zoom from Sony. It's only an f4.5, so it doesn't allow for a ton of light or a ton of bokeh, but it is a very nice lens overall, and I use it for a lot of long shots where I want to establish the truck at a very far distance away in outside exteriors. Its focal distance is 4 feet minimum, so I don't use it in the studio very often as I've only got 8 feet total to deal with. In the studio, I tend to stick to my 16mm 1.4 from Sigma. It's an excellent lens, lots of focal length, and I think delivers a really nice, kind of wider view of the entire studio. I've also got a 19mm from Sigma. It's a 2.8. It's a nice lens as well. It's a little less wide than this one, but works really well in exterior situations. I also have a 30mm 1.4, which is more of an equivalent to a 50mm lens, and it's very great for portraiture. It's also good for close-ups of vehicles, and when I want to get in even closer, I also have a set of adapters that I use that I got on Amazon that make any lens into a macro lens. So if I want to get on an extreme close-up, I can use one of these, and they are a very handy thing to have, and I'm very happy that I have those. When I'm not using the a6500, I do tend to use the GoPro. This is a pretty handy little camera. Gets into a lot of tight spaces. I can even put this inside a truck if I wanted to get that sort of shot. It's an excellent little action camera, and I've been using this for years. This is a Hero 6. There is, of course, the Hero 7, which adds a lot of stabilization to the shot, but I find that this works quite well. And it was reasonably priced too when I picked it up. In conjunction with that GoPro, I also use one of Harley's GoPro vlogging mounts that he created. This includes a lens cover, which I put an ND filter on, so anytime I want to have a lot of light but not overexposed, I use one of these. It's also got the mic pack, so I can use an external mic, which is very handy. This thing has seen some serious abuse already. It's kind of coming apart in places because I've hit it with a number of cars. Or it's a really handy little system to have, and I'm very, very happy that he gave me one of these because this is super cool. He builds them on request, and you can ask him about that in one of his videos and bother him. On the rare occasion that I don't have my a6500 with me, I will use my iPhone. I do find that it takes amazing photos in portrait mode, and you can actually get some pretty cool effects out of these little tiny phones. It's pretty incredible, the technology that they've built into these. So you can hear everything that I'm saying. I'm using a Rode video mic. I'll post a link in the description below to if you want to pick one of these up. It's self-powered. It's a shotgun style mic, so anything right in front of the lens is going to get the best sound reproduction. For extra smooth product shots, I use my Zhiyun Crane V2. It is a handheld gimbal and is strong enough to handle the a6500, so I usually mount the camera to the gimbal. It can be used in straight upwards mode, or you can use it upside down, or you can even use it in flashlight mode. It's really great for getting low shots that are very stable and smooth. I usually run the camera at 60 frames per second when I'm using it, to get those shots that just are so super buttery smooth. I really like it for detail shots as well on the bench. It's just really great to have, and I use it all the time. It's probably one of the most used things in the kit, actually. And of course, lighting is super important. It's not easy to see, but there's one right there. That's just a studio light that I used to have actually when my wife was filming her models for her fashion shoots. So these are fluorescent bulbs. They offer a nice, bright, super white light, and are perfect for the studio. One important thing to note, and something that I tell everybody, is that all of this stuff, all of these things, all this gear, it's only a tool. And your tool is only as good as the person who's using it. All of this stuff takes a lot of time, patience, and practice to get good at, just like building tiny trucks. Keep in mind that while this works for me, I have had a lot of time with all of this gear, and your results may differ if you're just new to this. So definitely take your time, learn all the ins and the outs. These cameras are really deep in terms of the menus and how many features they have, so there is a lot of learning to do. And that, for me, is actually probably the most fun part of the process. I love learning about how to use this stuff and how to apply it to something like our hobby. It's not always that, of course, these cameras aren't made specifically for what we do, but it's really nice to adapt all of these things to make them work. I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you did, be sure to post a comment below, hit the like button, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.